Whiterun. The easiest fucking one. Now, where is Whiterun? Oh no. So this guy on Reddit named Shadowhunter918 made a post saying, everyone knows GeoGuessr. You get placed in a random location on Earth, and using Google Maps, you have to try to guess where you are. World of Warcraft has a version of this. Does this also exist for Elder Scrolls Online? I would love to try that out. Somebody else said, what a cool idea. Another person said, that sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I think I can guarantee 3 views on this video if I make that, so, fuck it, let's do it. So with that, I replied, thinking of putting this together, lol. This one is for you, Shadowhunter918. I hope you like it. But unfortunately, this is not going to be an Elder Scrolls Online GeoGuessr because that would be like 6 times the work, and that's a lot of work. So we're just going to make a Skyrim GeoGuessr instead. Step 1, we should probably get some images. So let's load into Skyrim, and it's fucked. After fixing whatever the hell that was, I captured 10 images along with their respective locations around the map. GeoGuessr uses Google Maps for this functionality, but unfortunately the Google team hasn't got around to deploying their mapping vehicles to the streets of Whiterun, so I went this route instead. Honestly, I'm just disappointed, Google. I really just wanted some free shit I could rip from the internet. Come on now. Now we can take these 10 images and add them to a UI widget. This basically just allows me to display whatever location I want on the player's screen. I think it's a good start. Second thing we need is a map the player can interact with so they can actually make their guesses. For now, we will just steal some free shit from the internet, like always. Please don't sue me, huh? Now we'll throw this screenshot onto a mesh. We'll use a mesh instead of a widget, as we can gather world position data from the mesh. This image is going to be very low resolution, so we will have to come up with a solution for that later. The next step is to allow the player to be able to select a location on the map. To accomplish this, I added a function that gets world position data from your cursor when you click on the map, which I printed to the screen in the top left. Now we can assign vector values that correspond with different images and subtract those values from our guess locations. Using this value, we can find the vector to determine the distance from your guess. And now we have a 10 location Skyrim GeoGuessr. And also we have markers, which are cool. This was a good start, but we are going for a high quality, hyper realistic, AAA style video game with amazing gameplay, so 10 images just isn't going to cut it. Back into Skyrim we go. More images, it's time to fix this god-awful map so players can actually zoom in like they can in GeoGuessr. This is easier said than done because we need a super high resolution image to achieve the level of detail that GeoGuessr provides. When I say high resolution, I mean something along the lines of 15,000 by 15,000 pixels, so basically 225 million pixels. For some weird reason, I was having trouble finding a 225 million pixel JPEG of the Skyrim map on Google, so I had to come up with a solution. The only thing I could really think of was combining a bunch of screenshots of the map we used earlier into one image, sort of like a collage. This is easier said than done because the snipping tool for Windows is definitely not the most precise tool. I eventually figured out a systematic way to take similar sized screenshots using 2 reference points inside the online map. The plan was to take about 25 screenshots and sew them all together inside of Photoshop. This was meant to act as a test run, as we're not sure if Photoshop could handle the file size or if Unreal Engine 5 was even capable of rendering that level of detail onto a mesh. So after about 4 hours of screenshotting and image sewing and other bullshit, we had something that was higher resolution than the original screenshot, but still far from perfect. So now that we confirmed everything works on both the Photoshop and Unreal Engine 5 side of things, it was time to add a few miscellaneous features before bringing this project to its final playable state. Basically just a few simple things like toggling the image so you can double check the location before guessing, some seamless panning features, and also a simple scoring mechanism. At this point, we cannot add much more without referencing the final map. So after another 5 hours of screenshotting and towing images and other bullshit, we had our final map. Its resolution is a whopping 14,000 by 13,000 pixels and consists of over 100 screenshots. Oh my god! Now you can fully zoom in without losing any level of detail, and quite honestly, it looks beautiful. I want to take this time to genuinely apologize to my PC for destroying it through this entire process. Buddy, you did amazing. Speaking of getting absolutely destroyed, it's time to collect 50 more breathtaking screenshots of Skyrim and bring our total number of locations to 100. So between the map and the locations, there is now a grand total of 200 screenshots. If that number seems small to you, I would encourage you to spend an evening collecting 200 screenshots while simultaneously keeping track of them alphabetically, individually connecting each image to a vector point within a steaming pile of code. Needless to say, Shadowhunter918, you owe me a beer. After drinking 7 beers to help revitalize my soul after staring directly into a cold, dark, abyssal void that is coding, it was time to move on to polishing and packaging everything up. One key feature that GeoGuessr has is after you make a guess, there is a line that connects the actual location to the guessed location. This gives the player some visual feedback on how well they are doing and is a nice simple effect. That being said, however simple this feature might seem, oftentimes the simplest features turn out to be the biggest pains in the ass. You see, within Unreal Engine 5, there is a debugging feature that literally connects a line between 2 points. A reasonable person might assume that adding this functionality into the game would be a walk in the park, but it turns out that Unreal Engine 5 basically says fuck you and forces you to do vector math. Now, I won't get into the specifics of vector math because, well, obvious reasons, so let's just close one eye and then we're going to close the other eye and pretend that the debugging feature worked perfectly and we didn't spend a day and a half trying to figure this out. At this point, the game only needs a few more things before it is complete. The most important one of these is the menu. Now, I'm not going to say I stole this from Bethesda, but they certainly were an inspiration. Honestly, Bethesda, shout out to you. You guys are so inspirational. Yeah, after designing this logo in Fusion 360, which is definitely my intellectual property, we added a camera pointing at a black background and a smoke effect to imitate the menu from Skyrim. After this, there are only a few more notes to add before we could overlay the menu widget. I'd like to say this menu turned out magnificent for the 3 hours we spent on it. Everything is finally complete. Before diving directly into the gameplay, I just want to say we will be releasing this on Steam in like a month, so I will leave a link in the description so you can try it out for yourself. If you want to get it before it's on Steam, we'll probably have a file that we'll just like send out. So without further ado, I present Skyrim GeoGuessr. Also, Shadowhunter918, you still definitely owe me that beer. Thank you very much, and enjoy the gameplay. We got the Skyrim royalty-free inspirational adventure music. This is my second or third attempt at playing the game. I'm pretty bad, but I'm gonna try my dick off this time and try to get a good score for you guys. Let's see. Whiterun, the easiest fucking one. Now, where is Whiterun? Oh no. It's gotta be right here, right? No, that's not it, is it? Damn it. I really didn't play Sky... Like, I played it so long ago. I'm gonna have to guess there, aren't I? That doesn't look right, though. Like, what the f*** are... No, those are houses, aren't they? Yeah, that looks right. That's gotta be it. I'm sorry I'm taking so long on a white run. Go here. Yep. I was right. Okay. I'm already demolishing my score from last time, so let's try to keep this going. I'm gonna take a safety guess. I'll go for my high score and go right there. Oh my god! I was just going based off the color. We got another one of these that I'm just like... God. This would be a castle of some sort. Sort of a castle. Up here. I guess I could go there. But it looks to be coastal. I'm gonna go for a castle up here, see if there's a... Okay. I guess there is some rocks there. That one's gotta be... I gotta be able to find this one. This one is obviously on the coast. Some sort of coastal shrine. Shrinery. Some coastal shrinery. Here? Dun, 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 dun. Cheese and rice. Here. Huh. Oh wow. That is a breathtaking image. It's gotta be over here, right? Guess in the middle? Yep, that was close. Okay, 560 point, almost 69, so that's my high score. Yeah, it's pretty fun. We obviously have to fix a few things with it. I think we're gonna add some locations, like of the major cities, just to make it a little bit easier. I think that'll help. Maybe fix up a few things, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.